Welcome, Lions fans, and welcome to Roar Time. Little different introduction this time. First of all, we want to say a big congratulations to our host, Eric Fowler. He's been with us all year long. Congratulations on getting engaged. Got a promotion. He's moving to Atlanta. And so today on Roar Time, and I wish I could do the welcome to Roar Time, but I can't. We got a guest host. It's Bradley Beasley, right?
That's right.
Huge Lion fan. And so real quick, tell us about yourself and how you're sitting in this chair today.
Like I said, my name is Brad Beasley. I actually do graphic design for the Citizen newspaper in Phoenix City, so I do all the graphic design work for them.
How we wrangle you into doing this tonight?
I've known the production crew over here for a little while, and they came to me and said, hey, we need someone to come in and host Roar Time. Said that the normal guys moved to Atlanta, and we wanted to do the last show right here before the championship, so they wrangled me into doing it. They didn't have to wrangle too hard though. So.
Good. Can I put you on the spot?
Sure.
Who's your favorite player?
I like Jeremy Johnson.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I like them all, but
yeah.
All right. So first show, what you got for me?
So we want to do talk about the playoff win versus the Pirates. What was you guys' game plan going into that game?
Basically, the plan for them was to try to keep the ball away from their offense. We didn't know which quarterback they were going to play. They had Sean Brackett had been out. I had heard rumors he was going to play. He wasn't going to play, and then I heard rumors he was in a boot all week on crutches. So when we got to the game, actually it turned out to be Darren Thomas out of Oregon, who poses a threat because we didn't have a lot of film on Darren. Plus, he can run the ball. So he's kind of a Jeremy Johnson type. You know, he played at Oregon, that kind of spread offense. So Jeremy's a problem and to stop, and so was Darren. And that was my biggest fear going into that game with Mass was, you know, how are we going to stop them? Because I thought they had one of the top tier defenses in the league, to be honest with you. Athletic-wise, across the board, I think we have the most athletes in the league, and I think Mass is right there with us. So the game plan going in was to figure out which quarterback was playing. Keep the game plan simple for Jeremy. Just because arena football, you got to remember, it was only his second arena start.
Yeah.
So it's not about keeping it simple because he doesn't know the game. Jeremy's as smart as any quarterback I've been around. But the arena football game, it takes time to get going. And so the game plan was to make him feel comfortable, going into that game and not turn the ball over, to be honest with you.
What were your expectations for Jeremy to start the game?
Again, to just control the offense. I didn't want to do too much. I didn't want him thinking. You know, Jeremy's 6'6", 6'5", 230 pounds, and he can play football. So I just wanted to be able to let him drop back in the pocket, do what he can do, and not have to think too much, not have to worry about this read and that read, but just play ball. And, the first two drives, man, it was boom, boom, touchdown, field goal, and going down the field. And it was weird. Somewhere around the second quarter, Jeremy came to me and said, Coach, this is really starting to slow down. This is getting kind of easy. And when he said that, I felt comfortable. I knew we were going to be in the game no matter what, towards the end.
And you guys ended up the half up 22-7.
Yeah, it was a big stop. I think we got a big pick from, we got an interception from Shottle Finnig. And we had the ball on the 2-yard line. Funny story. We had the ball on the 2-yard line coming out with 10 seconds left. And I was just like, I'm just going to take a knee. I don't want to give a chance for them to get a safety or throw an interception or give them a cheap point. And one of the players in the huddle was screaming, let's throw it deep, Coach, let's throw it deep. I'm like, are you nuts? Just be quiet. So it was pretty good going into halftime 22-7. But in arena football, that doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I've been in games where I've been up by 28 points and I've been down by 28 points. And so you just never know how those things turn out.
Yeah, and then start the second half, Pirates come out and score back-to-back touchdowns. How'd you guys respond to that?
Pretty good, because we scored on every single possession throughout the game. But Darren Thomas, actually right before the half, he got hurt and he hurt his ankle. And it took everything they had for him to stay in the game, but he did. I got to give him credit, man. That guy played his heart out with a bad wheel. But they came out throwing the ball, and it was, boom, boom, touchdown, touchdown. But the difference is this game, what we hadn't been doing in that 4-game slide that we had was we didn't have that that gap in scoring. There was a couple games we lost to where we didn't score for 3 or 4 possessions in a row, and it allowed the other team to get back in the game. Well, this game every time we touched the ball, we scored. We scored something, a field goal or a touchdown, but we scored, and it's kind of kept us in the front the whole time.
What were the players' attitudes like in the locker room after the game?
It was good. I mean, again, they expect to win, even though we were the 4th seed. It wasn't that it was some kind of mass miracle that we beat the Mass Pirates. I mean, every game we played them, it came down to the wire on the last play, and actually that was the one game of the 4 that really wasn't close. But you know, we're the Columbus Lions, and we expect to be in championship games, and that's 4 in a row now for us. And so the players were just kind of, you know, hey, I feel good, but you know, it's on to the next one. So it was a good win for us. It was a good accomplishment. I definitely didn't want to end the season on a 5-game losing streak, which has never happened. That would have made it for a long off season, and it puts us in the championship game. So stay tuned for Lions fans. We'll be right back. This episode of Roar Times brought to you by Rivertown GMC, Dr. J. Broadwin, and CTV Beam, our partners. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Charles.
And I'm Tony with Midas here in Columbus, Georgia.
Did you know that 84,000 people in the Chattahoochee Valley go hungry every day? So we've partnered with Feeding the Valley Food Bank here in Columbus, Georgia. Every oil change feeds up to 5 people, or you can drop off food donations at either one of our locations. Together we can drive out hunger.
Come visit us at either one of our Columbus locations. We're located at 315 13th Street or 1631 Manchester Expressway.
Every day, men and women from communities across this nation serve as Reserve Citizen Airmen.
I am proud to defend our nation.
Proud to be part of a team that helps make a difference.
I am proud to be part of something larger than me and to serve my country.
We celebrate those who have served and those who are proudly serving in the Air Force Reserve. Our mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace.
I am proud to be a member. I am proud to protect our...
Proud to serve in the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
Thanks, Dr. J. My back feels so much better. Now tell me where I can go for my headaches.
Really? You don't need to go anywhere else. That's what we do.
Well, what about my shoulder?
That's what we do.
Pinched nerve?
That's what we do.
Well, what about disc problems?
That's what we do.
Sciatica?
With almost 500,000 patient visits over the last 34 years, don't just take my word for it. Ask a friend.
Call Dr. J. Broadwin and Associates today.
Hey, welcome back to Wartime. This is your host, Jason Gibson, along here with Brad Beasley. Brad's filling in for Eric this week. Again, congratulations, Eric, on getting engaged in the new promotion in Atlanta. We're going to miss you, but Brad, you having fun so far?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Good. Sponsor reads, people that pay the bills. You know, I love doing this part. Jordan's Girls Gourmet Dogs, favorite eating spot of the Columbus Lions and staff. Drop by the corner of 8th Street and Veterans Parkway Mondays through Fridays, 11 to 5, Saturdays, 11 to 4. Sprague Supply, sponsor of the Catch of the Game at each game and on CTV Beam each week. There's 3 locations in Columbus, Alexander Street, Phoenix City, Highway 280 Bypass, and Opelika Road in Auburn. Motors Acceptance Corporation, you trapped in a title pond, lower your interest, lower your payments, and get up to $1,000 in cash with Motor Acceptance Corp. in Columbus. Just call 1-800-NEW-RATE. For some reason, I like reading that one. That one's fun. Air Force Reserve Recruiting. Major players along with Fort Benning soldiers on Military Appreciation Night, and they are the sponsor of Pass the Pigskin, the defensive player of the game. Texas Roadhouse, home of the fall off the bone ribs, hearty hand-cut steaks, ice-cold beer, and legendary margaritas at 2970 North Lake Parkway. The Overby Company is Shredaway Documents, Shredding and Storage. Protect your business the best way. And of course, Midas of Columbus. Every touchdown is a Midas of Columbus touchdown. Trust the Midas touch. So again, thank you to the sponsors. Best wishes to John Gilbert and Golden Corral. They had a little fire in the roof a long time ago. It looks like I think they're going to be opening up on August 30th. Longtime sponsor of the Lions, and we look forward to you guys getting back on your feet, and we wish you well. So going forward, now that we got the Mass game behind us, thank God it's always easier when you win and tough when you lose. But what do you got next for us, Brad?
So, what were your thoughts about the Jacksonville-Carolina game?
Wow, I thought it was the ugliest game I've ever seen in my life. It was a blowout from the get-go. I got to tell you, there was 22 penalties for 175 yards, and that was just on Jacksonville.
Wow.
And I don't see how that's physically possible. I mean, They had 29 penalties in the game for over 200 yards in an arena game. So when you look at arena football, because the field's half the size, you have to double that yardage to relate it to an outdoor game.
Okay.
And if you do 250 yards of penalty, that's 500 yards in an outdoor football game. That is probably a Guinness Book of World Records. And I'll tell you what, Brad, I'm going to look that up.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to, that's just unbelievable. I don't want to get myself in trouble. But I don't know how you can throw through. I think I'm going to have to call our trainer, which is the best there is with Houston Clinic. Houston Clinic and Dr. Garringer, they're going to have to do an examination of the officials' arms and wrists, because as many flags as they threw, they probably have something wrong with them. We're going to need some ice. That was unbelievable. But with that being said, I just thought Jacksonville looked flat. I mean, Carolina came out from the get-go, and I thought Jacksonville has the better defense, which they do, but they didn't that night. You know, and Carolina came out, did everything they had to do, playing at home, and that's one of those games to where you're sitting there on the sidelines. Now, I've never been in one of those games, but that's one of those games where you're sitting on the sidelines, you're just watching everything go wrong, and it just keeps going wrong. And Jacksonville dug a hole that they just could not get out of. It was pretty bad. But congratulations to Carolina, first-year franchise. Well, technically, it's not a first-year franchise. I mean, it's they're all vets. They just got on different color uniforms. But it's a good job for the city. It's a good job for Greensboro, a place I used to play, and it was a good season for Jacksonville. You hate for it to end that way. A game like that, you'd like to see it be competitive, but it wasn't even competitive. And so, but that's my thoughts, and they only matter to me. So.
Yeah. So, what was your preparation like for this week, getting ready for the championship game? Was it anything different, or is it just a normal week of preparation for you guys, like next game on the schedule?
The game's on the 27th of August, so they give everybody a 2-week bye week. That's the first bye week, Brad, we've had since Memorial Weekend. I mean, it's been a long 9-10 week stretch, and it's been brutal. So we needed this bye week. I literally told all the players, go home. I don't want to see you. They don't want to see me. Let's just relax, come back on Monday rejuvenated, get ready for practice, and I'll get ready for the championship game. So this week really is just kind of a week for us to get our thoughts together, get a good game plan together, and get ready for practice for the week.
Okay. What do you see as the biggest challenge for this game?
There's a lot of challenges. The main thing with Carolina is just their ad-libbing on offense. They do a great job of the quarterback, changing the play and the fly and making throws and just breaking off their routes. It's not like they're not going to out-scheme you and really put you in a bind. What they're going to do is they're going to drop back, and the quarterback's going to move around a little bit, and the receiver's going to break off his route, and he'll throw a back shoulder throw, or he'll make chicken salad out of chicken, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest challenge for us going there. If it had been Jacksonville, I would have said the crowd, because they're going to put 10,000 people in that arena, and it's tough. But going to Carolina, that the biggest issue is probably going to be, McCullum's a good player, and he can make every throw on the field, and that's the major issue for us. And no turnovers. And I tell you the third major issue is if we don't get an officiating crew with those 26 penalties. That's a problem. They let the players play, it'd be all right. But if the officials get involved in the game, you can only play. It's like I tell my players, Brad. There's 3 people at the game. There's a team you're playing, there's the officials, and there's the crowd. You can only play one of them. So if you get into the game, start arguing with the officials, start arguing with the crowd, you just got to pick one. And so our thing, we've got to focus on Carolina. So.
Good deal. So, just want to get your final thoughts for the week.
Final thoughts for the week. Well, it's been a great year. It's been a long year. It's going on 20 weeks we've been with this team now, which is longer than ever. This will be our 17th game. The most games we've ever played in the season is 14. So we're in a part of the season territory that we've never really been in. So it's kind of up in the air, but it's going to be a great game. They're going to air it on the 27th of August. We need everybody to watch it. We'll have a big watch party at Sapo's, so make sure everybody can go to Sapo's and do a watch party. We did it last year. Okay. It'll be a great time. So I just want to thank you for doing this today. You did a good job, man.
Thank you.
Did a good job. And we'll be right back to talk about the players of the week and our superlatives, as Mr. Eric Fowler would say, and we'll be back in a second.
I don't have to tell you, this town can get wicked when it puts its mind to it. Same goes for Popeyes. Last time we got wicked, you just ate it up. Well, honey, my $4 Wicked Good deal is back. You know why I fry my chicken into wickedly twisted shapes? Because it makes them wicked crunchy and perfect for dipping. The best part? It comes with a side and a biscuit for just $4. That's a wicked good deal. So I hope you're hungry, because Wicked Chicken is back.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
Rivertown Buick GMC is going deep with our deepest discounts of the year. Every select new Buick and GMC model scores with thousands below MSRP. And your team of new 2018s are lining up, backed by our low price promise. We'll meet or beat any price. You get $1,000. Plus, get the right way guarantee with limited lifetime powertrain protection. We are Rivertown Buick GMC, and we are the king of trucks.
All right, welcome back to Roar Time with Coach Jason Gibson here. We're going to go over the players of the week for this week.
Cool, thanks, Brian. So this week, the Sprague's Napa catch of the game goes to number 2 out of the University of Arkansas, London Crawford. London, you had a great game. He made a couple touchdowns. He made a touchdown run and a touchdown pass that really put us over the top. The Collision Surgeons hit of the game, Daryl Thompson. This was an odd one because Daryl's a wide receiver, but we were running a toss play to Quavon Hicks, and Daryl came off the edge and cracked the DB and knocked the guy on his back, and he flat backed him. And Daryl, y'all, is only, he's a little guy, like 5'9", so that was a great play. The supercharged offensive player of the game, again, London Crawford. He had 9 catches, almost 100 yards. He had a great game. And the Air Force Reserves defensive player of the game, Shadowell Finnig out of University of Georgia, number 21. This was his first game back, and he had a great game and a key interception late, actually in the end zone. It's a good job having Shadowell back in the lineup. And last but not least, our Midas of Columbus player of the game, none other than Auburn, number 6, Jeremy Johnson. Jeremy had a great game with what we did, put the game plan together, and he really kind of held that thing together, 8 for 8 on our scoring drives. So, again, on behalf of Eric, on behalf of Brad, and I appreciate you doing the show today. I'm head coach Jason Gibson, Director of Football Operations. Look forward to seeing you next week on the championship game episode of Roar Time. I wish I could say it like Eric. And appreciate our sponsors, CTV Beam, Dr. J. Baldwin, and Rivertown GMC. Thank you, Lion Nation. See you next week.
Collision Surgeons of Columbus, now at our new location at 5050 Warm Springs Road Connector. We've teamed up with JP Auto Care to create a one-stop shop for your collision and mechanical needs. Don't go into cardiac arrest. Come by Collision Surgeons at 5050 Warm Springs Road Connector.
I don't have to tell you, this town can get wicked when it puts its mind to it. Same goes for Popeyes. Last time we got wicked, you just ate it up. Well, honey, my $4 Wicked Good deal is back. You know why I fry my chicken into wickedly twisted shapes? Because it makes them wicked crunchy and perfect for dipping. The best part? It comes with a side and a biscuit for just $4. That's a wicked good deal. So I hope you're hungry, because Wicked Chicken is back.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.